All
Can you
right,
guys hear me? It's Sarah.
Gotcha. Take it away.
all right. So this is Ellie. Y'all can see my screen, right? Just want to be sure. All
Cool.
good.
Awesome. So thanks for being with us today, Anna, and we appreciate your time. And we're the vendors team. We're going to walk you through our proposal. So first are our goals, and they're all centered around how the market can improve and benefit the vendors, and they kind of all build off each other. So we're going to walk through each one individually. And the first one is increasing awareness. And so it'll be one of the most important factors in making sure our vendors can be successful and continue to come every weekend. And through increasing awareness, we can increase the number of customers, which goes into our second goal of increasing traffic, which will increase the number of customers for our vendors and in turn increase their level of sales, and enhance the West Columbia community and the outcomes for the vendors that are showing up every weekend, hoping to make some sales.
So increasing revenues of vendors, the first question to arise from this goal was how. One such way is from the aforementioned increasing of traffic in the market. So this allows for vendors to have more opportunities to sell their products through, though the question of how also arises again. Communication among teams is vital for this goal. So once this milestone is achieved, revenues will motivate current vendors to stay while also attracting new vendors simultaneously. So on the flip side, diversifying and adding new vendors could also be a strategy to increase foot traffic along the market. And after all, a wider range of vendors does also attract a wider range of consumers, and it's all about that money. It would be nice to implement potential vendors for fresh flowers, food, produce, or entertainment. We can implement a schedule in a long-term fashion, and that way we can have a clear viewing of openings being available and potential opportunities to onboard new vendors if one of those openings is available. So each product at the market has value. We just have to get that value across to the customers. Not to mention that each of the local artisans has talents that elevate the art district and the West Columbian community as well. Speaking of community, we should listen to the community. This is both vendors and consumers for their needs, wants, and anything that can improve the level of vendor satisfaction while increasing foot traffic, which in turn would go back to increase overall market revenues. So there's a lot of moving parts here.
So research in this task takes a very important aspect. So to identify that, we'll be visiting the West Columbia market, and we'll be doing multiple ways of sampling to identify what brings the vendors and interview the customers and so on. And we'll be also visiting the Soda City market and other local markets as well as markets outside of Columbia to identify the similarities and differences to see what fits the West Columbia market better. We'll be also looking at internet seller platforms that could support all the vendors at the market, not only to expand what they do at the market and sell more of their goods and services. Data analysis plays an important role as well. We'll be looking at the research, surveys and interviews, observations, comparisons, collaborations with other teams to support the vendors and customers in order to make the most of it. Speaking of collaborations and stakeholder partnerships, Anna mentioned earlier as well, so we were going to suggest possible potential partnerships with Cafe Strudel, Pelicans, and the new brewery that's going to come up. And these collaborations will not only help the West Columbia market, but it will also help the businesses itself as well in order to bring in more customers during the weekend. For our resource management, we were going to look at how many members are in our team as well as other teams as well, and the number of hours everyone's willing and going to dedicate towards this, and also create a shared platform where each team could share all the information and we do not overlap, and we use all this information to make the most of what we have and be more productive and efficient. We'll be also talking to Colleen and Anna and their teams about the resources they have and how we could use it in order to achieve our goals. And one of that would be the potential funding, or if there are any marketing proposal or something that we could use from West Columbia in order to use for this project. Reporting and delivery of this project will be explaining to our client, in this case, Colleen and her team, the opportunities and risks, also comparative and representative of sample data, and demonstrating and the expected changes of adopting these strategies for the and also providing strategic marketing initiatives and ideas for the short run as well as the long run to improve and to see this market succeed.
So a crucial aspect to this proposal is going to be figuring out how we're going to report and deliver our research findings and our objectives to our audience, and figuring out who that audience will be. We need to bring awareness to customers who are now uninformed and to potential new vendors. And we can do this by encouraging social sharing after we first create a plan to creatively present Colleen and board members and also some marketing representatives of West Columbia the potential opportunities for the market based on what we found in our research. We then have to come up with a, We then have to come up with a creative way to showcase the current vendors through storytelling to attract customers and incentivize future vendors to join the community of artisans. These are examples of potential flyers that we put together that could be shared on social or together or on public places if we haven't allotted budget for it. So we have a lot of potential ideas to support our initiatives and ways that we can reach our objectives, as well as a thought out timeline to give ourselves some attainable deadlines. We would really appreciate you guys' feedback, and we look forward to sharing our ideas with other teams and collaborate to execute all of our ideas as well. That is all.